What's up you guys, Felix from Giant Lifestyle. Got a really awesome video for you guys today. I'm gonna be sitting down with my dispatcher inside of my trucking business. This is the eyes in the sky to keep my trucking business running and keep my truck on the road. If you guys are serious about getting involved in this business and taking it to the next level, then having a dispatcher on your team is a must-have. Be sure to stay through the entire video because I'm gonna share with you how you can actually get access to the exact same dispatcher that I use. Let's get into the video. All right guys, so we're not gonna waste any time. We're going to jump right into this sit down / interview. Welcome Cam to the channel. And without further ado, Cam, I wanna ask you the first question we have on tonight's list, which is what is your strategy for finding loads for owner operators?
Hi, Phil. Yes, I work with freight brokers and customers to connect owner operators to the shippers once I negotiate the deal. This includes logistic strategies such as rates, times, and locations. It's also a good idea to research high paying loads because brokers or the customers also benefit from this, so they tend to negotiate the rates a little bit better. It's important to have a good relationship with them as well, especially when you're a new business.
So how can you actually spot a good broker or a good customer? What are some things that you look for? What are some things that you keep in mind? Can you tell them about that as well?
Of course, in my personal opinion, someone that values the driver's safety and health. Most important, morals. Making sure that the owner operator, the drivers are treated fairly and with respect. Also, brokers with logistics or TMS resources that would benefit you and your team. They can also help you with challenges such as finding loads in rural areas, collecting settlements, gaining dedicated lanes, claims, documentations, and more. So, in a nutshell, it's always good to look for these things. Don't just automatically assume because a broker has a load available that it's a good broker. Look at it as if it's someone that you want to hire on your team.
Yeah, I like how you said that because I like working with you. And the one thing that I kind of noticed between like me and you and, working with everybody that I deal with is it's more than just the money. I think like a lot of people get caught up where it's like strictly money. And then when the money's not involved, there's no relationship. Like we can't talk about anything besides trucking. I mean, I know we're here to make money and do business, but I feel like when it's sometimes too much about the money, it almost isn't even a good business working relationship.
That's very, very important. And thank you for that as well. I feel the same way when working with you. I love the way that we bounce off of each other. And what business owners, especially owner operators, have to understand is in this business, you have to definitely let the broker or let the customer know who you are and what you can do. The trucking industry is so large. However, a lot of people do not navigate those resources. So, as you grow into your business, one of the main goals is to use the broker as a stepping stool by building the relationship with the client. To be honest, a freight broker is considered the middleman in the negotiation process, and because of this, they cut into your profit. So, again, making sure that you build a relationship because sometimes you may run into a dishonest or a desperate broker who will drop the price for the rate to meet their sales or to meet their monthly quota. So the best thing for you to do again is build relationships, know who that person is, understand, where they're coming from, get to know them personally. Personality is everything in this industry because you have to, of course, work with someone who is business minded, but if they're not a people person, it will not work.
Okay, cool. I like how you said that. The next question I want to ask you is like, how does the dispatcher play an important role for an owner operator? I see a lot of people watch my videos and they say that they either don't need an owner dispatcher. What is your opinion on like how important and how does it actually play a role for an owner operator?
For me, my goal is to assist with managing the flow of your trucking business. I strategize to maximize the owner operator's profit per mile by avoiding empty miles from one place to another. So basically, I will not book a load until I figure out, okay, there may be available load coming back. And if there isn't an available load coming back, I will let the driver know this before booking that load so they can have the heads up. But it's always good to keep the driver rolling because at the end of the day, a lot of drivers do not like to deadhead miles. And for those of you that who do not know what deadhead miles are the miles that you drive to get to the job location. So just imagine if you have a load and you have to drive those deadhead miles and then drive back home. The best thing to do is find a load where you can fill your truck up so you don't have to worry about paying for that extra gas. And this is done by maintaining close communication with the owner operators, and consistently searching for loads. I also try to find ways to increase company profits while helping owner operators maintain organized operations, meaning making sure that they collect their settlements, making sure that the bill of landings are turned in and things like that. So every day I have to fill out paperwork, billing, collections, accounting, and things like that, taking care of those tasks. So as a dispatcher, I have to handle multiple trucks and most importantly, provide extra, you know, customer service. So communication is vital. Hopefully I answered your question, but
No,
again,
that's
every
perfect.
yeah, everything flows into communication and relationships, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Because if I'm driving and I'm doing what I got to do, like to do all the extra stuff, it almost be too much. So that's why sometimes you got to delegate, and I don't mind paying you the percentage I pay you, and I don't have to worry about. I can focus on driving. I specifically remember a route we did where we went up to Connecticut, and then on the way back, you found us something. So it was like we were basically doubling up instead of driving up there and just wasting gas money on the way back. Um,
Yeah.
Talk about load boards. How do you find them? What are they? What do they do? How do they assist them? Let us know what you do as far as when it comes to load boards.
So, load boards are paid subscriptions for brokers, dispatchers, and owner operators to focus on the spot market. And that is the loads that are paying for that current day, week, or month. Shippers post the available loads with the details of the load type, the destination, and important job details. So all of that information is on the load board. So just imagine you going to a job board such as like Indeed and things like that, or going on workup or Fiverr or something like that, and you're looking for a right now job. These are the things that we have to look at, and we don't necessarily have to bid on all of them, but sometimes we do have to bid for these jobs. And most of the load boards have advanced logistics technology with multiple listings to choose from that helps us find the loads faster. And also, most of the load boards are posted by the same brokers or customers, so it's possible to still build relationships on the spot market load boards depending on what's available for that specific equipment type. But it's always important for you guys to remember that each load and shipper is different. So don't expect the broker to always give you the same rate. Everything is going to be a negotiation. And private load boards can be very convenient if you're signed up with um, a carrier as a dedicated carrier, then you'll have access to the carrier's internal load board without competing with a large number of drivers. And usually, those companies have some type of requirement, like you have to at least have 6 months or 3 months, depending on what it is. Or you may have to have a certain type of insurance policy, or some of them just allow you to sign on. And that's what I do as well. I sign my drivers up for the available internal load boards so we can go ahead and look for consistent loads every day. And even though the spot market has different loads every day, I am always an optimistic person. So, like I said, I always try to build relationships with those guys, even if it's something that's not available. I let my name be known. I let my driver's name be known. I let my owner operator name be known, with a follow up email and say, hey, this one may not work for today, but we're still available. And instead of jumping from broker to broker, like me personally, I love when a broker calls me and I feel like I'm speaking to one of my buddies while negotiating a load. So, it's very important to, again, and I'm going to keep saying it, build relationships. And the reason why I keep saying this is because this is something that a lot of drivers lack. And right now, it's very important for drivers to introduce themselves or reintroduce themselves right now with so much going on. Everyone, their business and stuff can get lost with, so much distraction. So, stand out in the crowd. And as business owners, we always have to step ahead of the game. So don't rely on load boards because it won't help you get those high paying loads or the dedicated loads that you want. So, you have to multitask. And the bottom line is hard work and dedication. Just don't hire me and walk away. Hire me and let's start strategizing and knocking down goals. I'm an asset, not a worker. And one of the great benefits of working with me is not having to pay for subscription fees for the load boards. There are some free load boards that you can gain access to, but most of the load boards are repost from the main load boards, and the rates are usually low or they're not available. So the main load boards, such as like DAT board or truck stops, the fees may vary from like $50 a month to $200 a month, depending on what type of service that you're looking for. Another issue, like you just mentioned, Phil, is spending time on the load, and drivers will miss out on time on the road when they're researching for loads, or they may miss out on a load, just by sitting there researching. Let us do the research while you can be, in the truck while you're ready. All you have to do is turn on your GPS and go. If you're looking for a load, the best thing that you should do before you call me is have that truck ready and be prepared. Don't call me and look for a load and then you're like, all right, well, let me go pick up the truck 2 hours away. Because when you're looking on the spot market, the first thing that they say is, okay, where's your driver? How soon can he be there?
Yeah, be
Keep
prepared.
that in mind. Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah, a lot of people. I mean, if you want the money, you got to be ready to go get it. Tell us about government contracts. A lot of new drivers, especially when they get into the business, they want these big government contracts that are going to pay super high rates. Tell us about that.
Once you gain experience as a driver and start collecting references from successful loads, you can apply for federal, state, and local government outsourcing transportation needs. And the best thing that you should do right now is basically build your resume, build your portfolio. If you know that this is what you want your goal to be, start making sure that after each successful load, you say, hey, Cam, let's get a referral or a reference or a review from that customer, because when it's time for the government contractors to look at the government contractors committee to look at your portfolio, we want you guys to look good. Just think about it as a resume, or something like a college reference or something like that. And I know that, I'm using different analogies that don't have anything to do with this business, but it's just that important. So it's very important. If this is what you want to do, start building your portfolio, because you know that the money is going to be a great reward. And then on top of that, once you get in this door, it's so easy for you to grow. This is one way for you to bid for dedicated loads, in your city. There's always a government agency near you that may have contracts available. Don't assume because, oh, it's not online, or I don't hear my buddy talking about it, that it's not available, because right now there are so many different things available, from healthcare to food, produce, and things like that. The government contracts, they go all around the map. It's just not something where it's strictly administrative. It's something where they may need something for a school, they may need something for a farm, a hospital. So always keep your eyes open, especially if you know what's in your area. However, it does require some extra steps like registering and getting approved. And this is an additional service that I offer for my drivers and owner operators once they're ready to take that step.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and we know that the government has, they're always going to have routes and loads, and they're always going to pay good money. But people think that they could just jump right in there. You kind of got to build it up, show you're worthy, and then once you're worthy, I mean, the sky's the limit. Talk about networking. I know you were saying about building relationships. What should an owner operator do when just getting started in this business as far as networking, talking to other drivers? What is your opinion on that?
Yeah, okay. So I know it may sound cliche, but making friends in the trucking industry is vital. Like I said in my previous answer, building positive business relationship is key for this industry. You want the customer to trust you with their freight and can assure that you can get from point A to point B without any issues. If that is something that you can prove to them, trust me, they will call you every day. I create professional connections that could lead you to new loads. So as I do that, they want to know about you. They want to know about your company and how your company can grow. So always be ready to network. And, right now, because of, the pandemic and things that's going on, you can't really get out and, go to business mingles and jingles and things like that, or meet and greets, but you can do it virtually. You can definitely join networking groups. There are so many networking groups and support groups for truckers that will lead you to more loads, that would lead you to growing your business. So this can also help drivers to stay informed daily with trucking forecasts. Like, for instance, for me as a dispatcher, I get a lot of information about the trucking forecast, and these are not automated messages. These are just people that will send me text messages, emails, phone calls, and just say, "Hey, Cam, I know you have, multiple drivers. Let me tell you where the loads are. Let me tell you where the loads are pretty slow at." So that's always good to have. And, now how I find loads. My whole thing is, let's work together to choose a strategy, or choose a different method, however you want to do it, to get the loads that you expect and deserve. My goal is to make sure that I encourage my drivers to keep going and help your business grow. Right now, it's kind of, difficult for people to feel like, okay, I can go out there and start a business. However, you guys are essential workers. So as essential workers, know that you're needed. Again, ensure that safety and health is always number one. Make sure you have your mask, your sanitizer, and if you are not, sure about a load, consult with me, and we can consult with the customer. At the end of the day, we're here to help. So, and with anything, there's no IN team. And with the trucking industry, you always have to have a group of dedicated people to make sure that your business, continues to grow.
Yeah, I agree with that. I always tell people, yeah, you might be the only person driving the truck, but you still need your team in the back end. Um,
Yeah.
a question that I think is really important to touch on is, I mean, obviously you were saying it that make sure you're ready and in your truck when I dispatch you something, but why do you think that having a dispatcher is so important? Why can't they just dispatch? Why should they have you dispatch? And even though they got to pay a fee, why is it so worth it to actually have a dispatcher on your team and in your corner?
It's difficult to keep up with the paper trail and make it to your load on time. I am a one stop shop that focuses on protocol and customer service. I have my own Rolodex so I can build relationships and use them as future references and resources. I am your booking agent, your administrator, your accounts receivable, liaison, logistic manager, and more. It's just like a booking app service versus, your being your own travel agent or using a Thomas guide. However, if drivers want to book their own loads, I can always help you complete the administrative process. But at the end of the day, I'm here to help. I'm here to enhance. When you actually start working in this trucking industry and see how difficult it is day to day, because it's not an easy job. You are consistently on the phone, you are consistently filling out paperwork, you are consistently checking in, and then on top of that, you're consistently making sure that your driver is safe. So while you're doing that, and then on top of that, trying to drive the truck, it's, it may work. There are a lot of drivers who can do it and very successful, but they may have their wives help them or their friends help them. But at the end of the day, again, I'm here to be an asset. I'm not here to take over your business. I'm not here to slow down your business. I'm here to help you actually gain in your business. And I think that's something that's very important, because two heads are always better than one. And then I love making sure that my owner operators are successful. So coming in with the goal, coming in with plans, executing them, looking at different things together, as far as like different, looking at things that may need some tweaking, or things that you may want help with. That's what I'm here for. I'm not just here to book loads. This is a business that you want to grow on. You're not just going to grow on just like booking loads. So use the services that I offer.
All right, so one of the next questions I have for you, which is a lot of people are going to be wondering, is number one, where can you get loads? Number two is, what is your average mile per load? I know it's up and down, and not always the same number, but you try to be as consistent as possible. And I appreciate you keeping my truck running, even with everything that has been going on in this world. And then, what kind of trucks can you actually get loads for? So three things. Where can you get loads? Average mile, and then the kind of trucks you can actually get loads for.
So, okay, I can get loads anywhere in the US and Canada. Right now, the loads are ranging between $1.25 to $3 a mile, depending on your truckload and also the area that you're in, and your equipment type. Rates are usually much higher than the average $2 a mile, but again, with everything going on right now, rates vary. But right now, as far as like today, rates are getting better than they were a few months ago. So as essential workers, you guys are priority. So like I said, even though it's maybe a little slower than it was last year, use this time to build relationships, because even if you call and check in, they're going to remember who you are. So if you have a load today for $1.25, and then that load come up next week and you do it, the third week you can negotiate from $1.25 to $1.75. So it start off with three good loads. Once you complete those three good loads with a customer, you can go ahead and start negotiating a better rate.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like I say, always, like you were saying, build that relationship. Don't try and just smack them over the head the first one. And then with everything going on in the world, like even if it's a little slow right now, it's not going to be raining forever. Eventually, this whole
Definitely.
thing is going to pass. Eventually, I don't know when, and the sun's going to come back out. Those rates are going to jump back up, and the money's going to keep rolling back in. I'm going to end the questions with this one because I don't want to make this too long. If you guys have any ideas for Cam and I for another video like this, drop them in the comments below. But talk about how fast do your drivers get paid, and do your drivers work with a factoring company?
Okay, and before I answer that, I forgot to answer the type of trucks that I can get loads for, and I can get loads for literally any truck. Okay. So to answer your last question about the factoring and how fast a driver can get paid, it depends on how the settlement request is set up. Most of my drivers work with the factoring company that allows them to get paid within 24 to 48 hours, depending on how their contract is set up. The second option would be quick pay or receiving a check from the customer. This usually takes between 2 days to 30 days, depending on the percentage that you want to take out. So It's all up to you. And when I'm filling out your carrier packet, this is something that you and I will discuss as I'm filling it out, because every carrier is different. So the percentage will be taken out. You know, at some clients may have 1% and some clients may have 3%. So each scenario may be different.
All right, cool. I really like that response. Just want to say thank you, Cam, for joining me on the channel. I will ask everybody if they want to see more videos like this
Yep.
or have any questions to drop them in the comments below. And then stay tuned for the end of this video, because I'm going to share with you exactly how you can get in touch with my dispatcher and have her dispatch you routes if you're interested.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. And you guys, like, subscribe, and share Phil's videos. Phil's videos are awesome, you guys. And ask them some questions. What do you guys want to know? What do you guys want to hear? Talk to us.
So there you guys have it. That's the video. If you guys enjoyed the video or want to see more, let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you want to be connected with Cam, go ahead and check the description below for a form where you can fill out, and me or Cam will reach out to you to see if it's a good fit. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe and check the giveaway details down below as well. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.